And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Oh. It was a little surprise.
You wouldn't know we would be this polished, would you, after this much time?
Oh, after 7 months.
I know.
This is as good as it gets.
Yes. Well, hello there, everybody. Thursday afternoon.
Hello. Yes.
Thursday afternoon.
I know. This is
So
exciting.
we keep talking about this being feeling like Wednesday for some reason, right?
Yes. Well, for some of us, it feels
Yeah.
like Wednesday.
Well, since I didn't come back until Tuesday, I was off Monday as well.
Exactly.
It kind of is my Wednesday, right? So
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we got a spotlight showing on Ken. and
Yeah.
So,
Kathy.
is there anything you can share about your vacation?
Yeah, I just, a lot of people asked me, where did I go? A lot of people thought I had gone down to Disney.
Oh.
I had a couple people ask me how Disney World was.
Whoa.
So, and they know I'm a big Disney World fan, but
Right.
we didn't go to Disney. That's a
Right.
little too
That's a little
much
risky
for
right
us.
now.
Yeah.
I heard you went to the beach on number 7.
Yeah, I went to.
That was your
Did you see me
vacation,
there? I
Ken.
was sleeping there
Oh,
overnight.
yeah, that's right.
I had a tent set up. It was great. No, we were down at Topsail Beach, and we have a house down there that we rented that was really nice, and we had a good time down there. So.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was great because I didn't have to wear my mask hardly any time at all.
yes.
Thank you.
That's
Ken.
nice, because you were just with your family.
Yeah, and we took most of the stuff we needed down with us, food-wise. So, we just 1 or 2 little trips to the store, and we were pretty much done for the week.
Sure,
So,
sure.
and, the nice thing about going to the beach, I think, is you can kind of control your environment very well
Right,
that way.
right,
So,
absolutely.
There wasn't a ton of people down there either, so
Yeah.
which was good.
And did you catch any fish when you were down there?
Thank you. Yes. You know what? I caught one that was this big. So, no, but
It was pretty big,
I
though.
did catch a big fish. It was funny. The place we had a little dock off of it. It was on the Intercoastal Waterway, and we were fishing all week, and we weren't catching a whole lot, a little bit here and there, but all of a sudden, I just felt a tug on the line and caught this huge flounder. It must have been
flounder,
about
cool.
that big. I'm not kidding. It was about that
Oh,
big.
great.
So that was our next
Wow.
night's meal. It was really very good. Sheila
That's
really knew how to
cool.
cook it up.
Yeah.
And so,
Very cool.
and I had somebody there that knew how to fillet it and do all that.
Did
so.
you clean and
I
Sheila
didn't
cook?
do it. I have what probably is going to be, I have a hard time admitting this, probably going to be a future son-in-law that was with us. And yeah, my daughter's still too young to get married, in my opinion, but that may be coming in the future. We'll see.
Speaking of floundering,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But he's a great guy, so I mean, I get it. But he's a big fisherman, and so he scaled it and cleaned it and filleted it, and
Well, that's a benefit right there.
I
I
like
was
that
going to
part.
say, talk about
Yeah,
fun.
I like that part.
That's
so,
pretty
So
good.
anyway, a lot of you asked me about it, so thank you for asking. It was great. We all know this is a difficult, stressful time. We've talked about the fact that with COVID-19, this really is a marathon, not a sprint. And so we need, and then we've been talking to our team here, Lisa, as you know, we need to be taking our time off. We need to be having those weeks off here and there that we can kind of recharge our batteries a little bit so
Right,
that we can
right.
be as fresh as we can for what's going on.
To be able to serve.
So,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it was a lot easier taking this week off than it was earlier when
Right,
COVID-19 was going on. So.
Because now we've kind of been steady with
I mean,
things.
we're
We
kind
haven't
of
had
at
a whole lot of
place where we're,
changes.
I mean, we're not
right.
normal. We all know
Right.
that. We're not normal. where we
We're
are
not
right
normal.
now. But
I'm not normal.
We're not
No.
normal, period. Anyway, when is normal outside, right? But I think we've got so many things that we've got going on now for residents that I felt good that, there's a lot residents can still be able to jump into now. So with the Wellness Center opening up and,
That helped a lot.
dining and, just a few other things that we've got, I think it's a lot easier now for the residents. And, I still do these weekly COVID calls with our sister communities. And, Lisa was actually on the one last week for me in my place. And it was funny, I was talking to her when I got back. I said, well, how was the COVID call last week? And she goes, it was good. She goes, yeah, what you said is right. We seem to be pretty far ahead of the other communities
We're a
when it
little more
comes to
advanced,
what we're
yes.
doing. They're still struggling with trying to open up restaurants.
Right,
and,
right. A lot are still doing the delivery.
They're still doing
Or the
delivery.
pickup.
Yeah.
So
and
it's just
so, anyway,
different phases.
different phases.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, Ken, Kathy, we're glad to have you both here with us today. It's
Yeah.
exciting today.
Yes, yes.
We got like an all-star lineup
I
today.
know we
This
do.
is
I know.
great.
This is good.
We're going to
some
talk about something pretty exciting.
We are going to be talking about
Yes,
something pretty
we
exciting.
are.
So
That's why we have Kathy here
yeah.
today.
So, but
Special
before we
guest.
get to that, we
Yes.
got some business to take care of.
We
And
do. We
Our
do.
first order of business is our trivia question.
Yes, and I also want to give a shout out to Jim Burke for that wonderful picture today.
That
was a great way to start the
hysterical.
show.
Yeah.
So thank you for sending that, and
Yeah.
keep sending us jokes and pictures and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. So we
And-
can definitely use
And he's right.
use
It is a little
those.
easier to find the nuts right now. That's for
It
sure.
is.
So,
Oh, absolutely.
that was cute.
Okay, so the trivia question today is from John Hoyt,
John
Kathy's
Hoyt.
wonderful husband. And you're going to call Michelle if you know the answer to this question. And her number is 336-389-4103. And the prize today is
Yes? A bottle of wine.
the Cheesecake Factory bottle of wine 2014
That was a
Merlot.
great year. That was a great year, 2014.
It was non-COVID, so it was a good year.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. 2014 was a great year.
Yes.
So
Cheesecake Merlot.
look at that. I know. I
So
know.
the significance about the Merlot is that
Is it
it's
foreshadowing
gonna be,
something?
It's a little foreshadowing of what we're going to be doing with the
Ooh.
talking about later. So we'll get back to that. a little
Okay.
bit. So,
Okay.
all right,
So are we ready?
we're ready. What's
Okay.
the trivia question?
The question is, in the comic strip Peanuts, where was Snoopy born?
Peanuts. Where was
So-
Snoopy born?
Where was he born? In the comic strip Peanuts, where was Snoopy born?
Yeah,
It's a good question.
it is a good question. Yeah,
Very good question.
we'll see if anybody has an answer to
Didn't
it.
you
right?
have an answer to it earlier?
I said he was born in a doghouse, but that's not that. Probably
That is not the answer,
That's
though.
not the right way.
I peeked ahead. It's not the right answer. So
So it's not the doghouse.
not the
Don't
dog
use that
house,
answer.
No. Not the dog hospital either.
No, it wasn't.
All right. So I guess we're going to do the updates, right?
Yes.
On daily
Yep.
statistics. So, so Lisa, I said, Lisa, did you do any statistics last week when you had the show? She goes, yes, I did. I
Yes.
said, do you have them so I can do my comparison between where we were last week? And she goes,
Kathy knows.
No.
you know, I probably have them somewhere. I said, forget it. I'll just do it as of what we were 2 weeks ago. And actually,
let's
it's kind
do
of
a 2-week look back.
It's a 2-week look back. It's a good
I
snapshot.
mean, it's a great
good
place to
snapshot.
start.
Great place to start.
But I
So,
was there, and trust me, those were some awesome statistics.
I'm
you
sure
gave.
they
Thank you,
were.
Ken.
Yep.
I'm sure they were.
We just don't know where they are right now.
We don't know.
Somewhere on my desk.
So in the last 2 weeks, 434,645 tests have been done.
Wow.
That is 31,000 tests a day. So I think what's happening is we're starting to see the test increase. And part of that is because we are starting to see a lot more of newer equipment coming in that are testing more on a rapid basis than what we've had in the past. And the state, especially the state of North Carolina, is starting to allow some of this quicker result testing to be used as part of the regular testings where they weren't before. So now we're starting to see more of it. And I could get into the logistics about the type of test that's being done and why the state will only accept certain types of tests and not other tests because it wasn't quite as reliable. But they're starting to come closer together now, and so I'm even hearing of some equipment that's coming out soon here that will test not only for COVID but will test for flu at the same time. So I think we're starting to see a lot more of that technology starting to kind of come in now, and so who knows what we're going to have in the next month or two by the time it's all said and done. But enough about that. So averaging 31,000 tests a day over the last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, we've had 26,030 positive cases. That's 6%. So we're running a little higher. We're running a little bit higher as a state. I don't know if that's a result of moving into stage 3 and start having a little bit more open up to us, or if this is just they had also said at one point that in the fall we might see a little bit of an uptick, and so guess what? We're in the fall, so we might be seeing a little bit of uptick from that. For whatever reason, we're a little bit higher. We're seeing a lot more people in the hospital, unfortunately. We were at 939 the last time we had talked here, when I was here. We're 1,140 as of today, so that's an increase of 200 in the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we've had 295 more deaths in the last 2 weeks. We're at 3,874 as a state. And when you look at the individual counties, Guilford County has just continued to really climb. I mean, it's no question, when I look at where Forsyth is and I look where Guilford is, at one point they were running pretty neck to neck, and it's not anymore. I mean, Guilford has really been rising a lot more. Now, I say that, and then when I did it again, I wanted to look at, how many cases per 10,000, because to me that's a very telling statistic, because it's really more of a percentage of the population in the county as opposed to how many cases there are in the county. Right. And so when you look at it that way, Mecklenburg County is still the highest, 284 cases out of every 10,000 people. Durham is next, 266 out of every 10,000. Forsyth, believe it or not, is the next one at 208 cases per 10,000. But we're not far behind that. We're at 191, but we're still less. So when you look at that comparison to how many cases in total there are, Guilford has over 10,000 cases right now since the beginning. Forsyth is at 7,887. So they've got a couple thousand cases less than us in total, but when you look at it again from that 10,000 residents thing, we're lower. So I think it puts it in perspective. To me, it does anyway. So we had really great news this week, again.
We do.
75 more tests that were done this week in our healthcare center. We just found out this morning, that they were all negative again.
Super.
So we have been
5 weeks.
at 5 weeks now. So
Yep.
I look to see today if we come off of the state's report yet, and we're not off of there yet, but
Okay.
we should be soon, because we're past that 28-day.
Right.
So I'm hoping, they update it every Tuesday and Friday. I'm hoping that after tomorrow we move off of that list. But our team continues to do a great job over there, and what a blessing. I mean, we're 5 weeks now without a case, and so I'm really pleased about that. And our sister communities, some are having some success like us, some aren't. Scotia just went back into outbreak status again, unfortunately, and a couple of our other communities are coming out of outbreak status like we have been. They're coming out of it. So it's just, at the moment, it's just kind of it's a battle. It's a war right now, trying to keep it out, and even when it does come in, trying to manage it. So we've been very fortunate we haven't had to manage it. We've been able to keep it out. So I hope that continues as a trend. When you look at just the congregate living settings, which is nursing homes and retirement communities, since the beginning, there's been 18,056 cases. That's actually, in the last 2 weeks, that's an increase of almost 1,900 cases. And I'm not surprised by that, because there's a lot more testing being done. I was talking to you about the state allowing this other type of testing now to be a part of it. We're going to see more of that, I think. So hopefully not here, but we'll see more. And then the deaths in nursing homes and retirement communities, it's still right at that 50% mark. 50.7% is what we were. And we've been running right around 50% almost since day one, I think. So, and then the number of communities that are in outbreak mode, we're at 314 as of today. That's 18 less than what we were 2 weeks ago. So that's good. So hopefully that'll continue. But I think that's it. The good news here is, like I said, that we continue to test, and we continue to do well. The good Lord's been blessing us, and our staff. Give our healthcare staff credit. I mean, you think about the exposures that these folks have outside of our community, and they're all being very careful. For us to go 5 weeks and test that many staff members and not to have a positive case, I mean, think about the sphere of influence that each of us have. I think I'd read one time that each one of us has a sphere of influence of 500 people in our lives. And you think about that multiplied over just 100 staff members.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is that? That's 5,000, 50,000? Yeah. Whatever, 5,000 people that we come into contact with, that we have a sphere of influence over. And so It's a lot. So I'm really pleased. I mean, I wish the state was doing a little bit better, but, we're not the worst state for sure. And, we're not the best one either, unfortunately, but just got to keep it going as best we can until we can get a vaccine. And I keep hoping and praying that we're going to hear something soon about a vaccine. And we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's it, I think, on the
Okay.
statistics. So we got some other things to talk about,
We
though,
do.
right?
Since we've been doing so well, healthcare visitation.
Yes.
We're able to open
Yes.
some things up.
Yeah.
And this has been kind of an exciting week for the healthcare team. They've been sending out letters, I believe, to family members of folks that live in assisted living and skilled nursing.
Yep.
So that's been very good.
Yeah, you might have even seen
So-
that they have the stations set up. If you
They've
see
set
the
them
red
up
tents
already.
around
Yep,
on the
yep.
healthcare side, they've got visitation stations, outside visitation
They
stations
do,
set
in
up
the different
for
household areas.
each of the different households so that there's
Right.
no cross-contamination
Right, right.
opportunities.
Yep.
So
And still being very careful with that.
they are, yeah.
And a
And
lot of
we're-
rules go with it. It's not as easy as just walking up to visit.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not to
there's-
that.
There's a lot that has to be.
Right. Everything has to be scheduled and all that good stuff, and it's
Yeah.
during certain times and so many people a day, and we do have a lot of regulations to follow to do it, but this is a great first step to be able to have something.
Yeah, and it's a good
for
time of
loved
year to be
ones.
doing outside visitations. It's not too
Absolutely.
hot out, not too
Yes,
cold yet.
yes.
And then the team's also working on the possibility for inside visitations
Yes.
coming up soon.
Yep,
So,
yep.
because we know cold
Weather's
weather's
gonna be
coming,
changing.
and
Right,
outside
right.
visitations just won't be possible.
Right.
So, so we're working on those procedures as well. And I hope that within the next month, I think we'll have something in regards to that too. So,
This is a great opportunity for folks.
and as long as we can keep our tests
So,
negative
yeah,
here, that makes
absolutely.
it so much
Yes.
easier for
Yeah.
us to do these kinds of
Yeah.
things. So for our healthcare residents that might be watching, it's
It's
coming.
a good thing. It's coming.
It's coming. The
Yep,
outdoor
yep.
visitations are coming. We've been doing
Absolutely.
window visits.
Right.
That has continued.
Yep.
And the other nice thing that I like is the outdoor visitations. They actually can continue even if we went into outbreak mode here. So those visitations can continue even when we've gotten clarification from the state.
Right, right.
Because they're outdoor visits, they can continue now. And that was not the case
It
before.
wasn't.
They've
That was a
changed their mind
change.
on that or
Right.
changed their position on that. So that's good. So I think some real positive things coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then on the independent side, we're also announcing some visitation changes today.
Yeah, so listen up. So
Okay.
we had talked about the fact that this was coming, right?
Yes, we did.
So, you all know that you can bring in 2 family members right now on a visit. And so we have talked about this, and so we're going to change that now to being 2 visitors of
Right.
your choice.
Right.
So it can be guests as opposed to family members now.
Sure.
So if you have a couple that you're friends with that you want to bring them in
Mm-hmm.
and have them visit with you, remember they still have to go through the screening and the temp
Right,
checking at the
right.
front, but and you need to let the front gate know that you've
Mm-hmm.
got visitors coming in, but you can start bringing those folks in
Right,
now.
right.
So
So that's also a good step. for
Yeah.
us. So, yep.
and
absolutely.
along with that, Lisa, I had mentioned this at least once before on one of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
We have been waiting for this point before we kind of started up the marketing machine a little bit again. So
Right.
we're going to take this opportunity. So the visitor thing goes into effect today.
Now.
So you
Yep.
can go right in and
Yep.
start doing that now. On November 1st, we are going to start allowing Amy and Martha to be able to have limited tours in the communities. Now, again, I'm going to repeat. These are prospective residents that will be coming in. They'll be screened and temp checked just like everybody else is. But we will be doing tours. They will not be using any of the amenities. They will not be eating here. They will not be visiting other residents. We're not doing any of that. These
They're
are
not
just
staying in the staycation.
not staying in a staycation.
Right,
They're not
right,
staying overnight.
right.
These are just folks that are coming in for an hour or 2 tour or whatever it normally takes them to do a tour. And so that they can see the amenities so we can kind of start that machine up again a little bit. So Amy and Martha have been very creative up to now about interacting with residents and prospects, residents, futures, and prospects. So we're going to give them another tool to start using here. So that's coming along with this as well. So.
And just to take another opportunity, when you're inviting your 2 guests to come in here, make sure you know where they've been. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Check out
You
with your
need to
guests.
screen them before we even
You
screen
really
them,
need to
right?
screen them before they come in here because you're exposing yourself.
That's right.
And then because it's community living,
Yeah.
we're also exposing each other. So we all just need to do our part in making sure who we're around is not doing things that kind of jeopardize that. So just make sure you're doing that. And of course, the 3 W's.
Right.
We always like to stress that. Wear your mask, the social distancing. So even when they come in your home, you still want to follow the social distancing and just be really careful with that. And washing and sanitizing hands, all that good stuff.
Well, the one thing I really like about the change this time is that we know that there are residents here that don't have family members in the area.
Right, right.
And they've been limited as far as being able to have
Absolutely.
people come in because they
Right.
don't have family members in the area.
That's right.
So this will allow them to have friends that
It
maybe
does.
that they haven't seen in a while to be able to come in and see them
Yeah.
in the community.
Give
So,
some opportunity.
yeah, so I think this is going to be good.
Last week, Tom, you missed a good week.
I kept
Right?
having pictures texted to me about the river games.
Yes.
Boy, everybody seemed like they were having a great time.
Everybody had a great time. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good fellowship. You know, we've missed so much of that, and Whitney and her team have just been great and putting in a lot of time and effort to that, just so we could have a little fun.
Well,
So was Ken baptizing people in the river last week? I heard a rumor about that. Is that right?
Was that a River Games? I don't know if that's a game, but it might be a service. I don't know.
no, but now that you mention it, we can,
It could happen.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I'd like for the weather to cool off a little more before we get out there in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I don't believe we did any water walking this time. Did we do water walking this time?
I don't think so.
You know, because that's always my favorite one.
I thought we did.
Residents walking
We
on
did
water
have
is
some
always a
aquatic
good.
events, so we did have some.
Yes.
We did have some pool
aquatic events?
We did, we
Okay,
did,
good,
yeah.
good.
So
Okay.
I think everybody had a great time. And
That's great.
just a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
And because it was within our community, it was just friendly competition.
Yeah.
It wasn't like die-hard competition.
Well, wait a minute now. Now, I haven't been, I know I wasn't here last week, but I know our residents pretty good. So even when you say it's for fun.
You mean we have some competitive people?
Some really are pretty competitive about this thing.
Oh,
So,
I didn't notice that.
yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. 'Cause-
Kathy called me a liar.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the spirit of what we were trying to do was,
right.
we're trying to find a way to replace the Olympic Games in some
Absolutely.
form or fashion. And
Right.
so this was a more of a lighter-hearted
It was.
approach to that.
Yes.
And so, you know,
Yeah.
that's hopefully the vein in which our
Right,
residents
right.
take that.
I was a scorekeeper in the gym, and just sitting there looking at how beautiful that facility was, and for the cornhole, and everybody was nicely spaced, they could all, it was just really
Absolutely.
nice.
It was set up very well.
Yeah.
Protocols were followed. It was a fun day.
And I didn't hear about anybody throwing corn bags at other people. That was good.
Not so
I-
We
much.
didn't see
yeah.
any of that.
Okay, that's
No.
good. All right. I'm glad to hear that.
Maybe they wanted to, but they didn't do it. So,
The ones I saw some people do it, but they disinfected it before they threw it.
That's good to hear.
all I saw was good sports.
All right.
So
Well,
I think that's where we were.
Well, kudos to Whitney, Jill,
Yes.
and Courtney, right? I mean, that was a
Absolutely.
big event for them
It
to
was.
pull off by themselves.
It was.
And I just thought it would.
Yeah.
From what I heard, it went fantastic
It did.
last
It
week,
did.
so
So
that's
had
good.
a great time.
All right, good.
Okay, we're going to do a plug for HPU.
Yes.
We need some volunteers.
Wow, I heard a
I've
chorus
been
there.
told we need 40. That's not 4.
40. Now,
40
Lisa,
volunteers are
I
needed.
was under the impression that we had this long list of residents that were waiting for a student.
I think we were misled.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
Either that or we went back to that list and they all said no now. I don't know.
I don't know.
And that might be what it is.
But this is
so.
going to be done very safely. So if anybody was worried about that you have to meet with the students and things like that, you don't have to do that.
Right.
It's over the phone. You could
Right.
Skype, I guess. You could do Zoom.
FaceTime.
Different
I mean,
things.
there are all kinds of
Yes,
different
but you could
things.
just have a phone call. So I just want to make sure we clarify that in case somebody was worried about that. I would get that. I understand why you'd be worried. But this is definitely done in a safe way, and I believe it's 2 or 3 times a semester. So it would be 6 times tops in a year.
Yeah.
So it really is not a huge commitment, and it's just a good partnership. And to be able to help out a student
Yeah.
coming into the workforce, into this occupation of being a pharmacist,
Yeah.
I think we can give so much wisdom there that we can help these young people. So
Yeah.
would love to find 40 volunteers.
Yeah, and I think if I was a resident and I was thinking about having a college student come and visit me personally here, knowing what's going on with the colleges, that might be a little
Absolutely.
scary, right?
Absolutely.
And so we're saying that that's not the way it's
That's
going to be.
not how it is.
It's going to be a virtual thing. You're
It
not
is.
really going to be together physically.
right.
At least not until a vaccine or something. We can
Right.
do that safely.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, this would be a good time for folks to step up
Right.
and help these students.
Right. And if you have one student, could you have a second student? Yes. Is that a possibility? Yes. The answer would be yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So it is okay if you can help out by taking a second student. That's great.
Yeah, and it probably wouldn't even be at the same time.
Chances are it would not be at the same time.
I think Neil Shaver, who was a pharmacist, has 3.
There you go.
Wow.
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 That's the record so far, right, Brian? 3?
Wow.
All right.
So you said Neil Schaefer?
Shaver, yeah.
Shaver. Neil Shaver has 3 students.
So-
let's try to top that. Let's try. Is there anybody that'll take 4?
Do I
Let's
hear
try.
4? Do I hear 4? Well, we could
That's
use some
great.
help with that.
That's great.
So that'd
Yes.
be great.
Yep. Okay, the furl. We have to give a shout out for the furl program.
Right.
They're having a special 5-week session that they're going to be interviewing leadership team members.
Right.
And the interviews start next week. So our first furl class with the interviews starts next Monday. And guess who it is?
It's,
It is,
Tom?
it's the two of us.
I thought we were going to start this off with a really good show. Why they chose us, Lisa, I mean.
we were, there was supposed to be somebody before us, and there were some conflicts in schedule.
Okay,
So
all
really,
right.
we weren't going to be the first ones.
Okay,
You're right.
all right.
You're right, so, but it.
But we are.
But we are now, we are. So we're
So
going to
that's-
start it out strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever
We got
you
this.
say.
So you'll get to learn a little bit more about us personally. That's always exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They may not want to know much more about us personally.
And then professionally as well. So how we got our start and those kind of things, and just a little bit more about us. So.
Yeah, they might wonder how we got our start and how we ended up in these
They might
roles.
wonder how we're still in it. So you just never know.
You never know. You never know.
Oh,
So yeah, that'll be
that's-
fun. So do you want to tell everybody what FURL stands for?
Ken, go ahead.
You asked me that last week, and I
I
had
know.
trouble.
No, you did
It's
it.
the Free University of River Landing.
That is correct.
Correct. See, that was perfect. Kathy, did you know that?
I did. I'm teaching a class.
Kathy, what are you teaching?
I'm teaching crochet.
There
Can
you
people
go.
join it, or is the class already
The
full?
class was full with 8, and we had 2 on the waiting list. So
Wow.
I've created a furl extension, and I'm doing a class before my class so that everybody could,
Look
I
at that.
love the new crochet cord outs here. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
yeah,
Yes, I
full of
do.
yarn balls.
Yeah.
Crochet court. Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like saying FURL, don't you? There's something about the name FURL. I like it.
It rolls off the tongue.
It's got
Furl.
power behind it. FURL.
Furl.
It's great.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Okay.
FURL, Monday, be there.
Yes. And that's broadcast, 1390, 3 o'clock. Now, yours isn't broadcast, right, Kathy?
No, I hope not.
Yeah, but it might want people to do it.
Virtual
Well, yeah.
crochet. No, I think it
I mean,
would
you
go
never know.
great, yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to do another class that will be for
Okay.
beginners.
Okay.
Be able to
Okay.
learn how to
So
crochet.
this was more advanced, the one that you're doing
Well,
this time?
you have to have some idea of what you're doing.
Okay. Well, very good. I think it's
Well,
exciting.
thank you for doing that, Kathy. And
Yeah.
just thank you to all of our FURL people. I mean, I think
Yep.
that's a big program
It
that we
is,
have
it is.
here.
And it's something that you can do now in a limited number of people.
Yeah.
And being able to broadcast it, we can get it to the whole campus, so, awesome. Okay, Michelle, we got to talk about Michelle,
We need to talk about Michelle.
okay? She's going to take a week vacation now.
What?
I think it means I'm next.
Well-
You, and then me.
Usually what happens is I take a vacation, then the two of you take a vacation, so together. Usually I find myself in the office by myself, and then And then the rest of the staff suffers because I've got to go around finding them to be able to harass them because I don't have you two to harass. And it's a problem. I mean, it just is a problem.
You know,
here.
Michelle and I have done that to you.
You've done
haven't
that a lot to me, yes.
We take vacation together.
Well,
we don't,
not
We don't
together.
go together. But we take it
Let's
at the
not
same
start any rumors
time.
here.
But we do take it once in a while at the same time.
Yes.
But usually it's only like a day or so here and there.
That's long enough.
It's and we leave Tom alone, and he can get himself in trouble. So we have to be careful with that.
Everybody else in here is going, yeah, I sure can.
Oh, so we're trying to be careful with that. Now we're separating them.
We are.
So
yes.
we're not out at the same time.
This is protecting Tom.
That's
Yes.
right. Protect Tom.
Do you need me to check in on him every now and then?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So if
please.
you know that we're both gone, Kathy, you could check on him too.
Yeah.
And if you don't come check on me, I'm going to come check on you.
I was going to say, one way, you get checked on. So, okay, so to get back to Michelle being off next week.
Yes,
Okay,
that was the reason we brought this up.
yes, there will be no notary services while
No,
she's
no.
gone.
It's a no-no.
No,
No
no,
notary.
No, no, no.
None. So if you need something notarized,
Tomorrow.
so you better call Michelle really quick. And we gave her number earlier, 336-389-4103.
Yes.
Okay, so you all have her number. If you need something notarized before she goes, tomorrow's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And she only has so much time in a day, so she could only do so many.
You know, Lisa, it's probably a good time to point this out. At some point in the future, we are going to try and add another staff member to get them through the notary school and get them. But I don't
have-
even think they're doing notary
They're
school
not.
right now.
They're
So
not.
you
That's
can't-
the
We
problem
can't even
right
get people
now.
into it right at the
Right.
moment. But we have a couple people that we'd like to talk to about
Yep,
being
and we've had a
notaries.
couple people volunteer to be it.
Yeah.
So we have some plans, but notary school is closed right now because of the pandemic.
So it's a one-woman show right
It
now.
is, and she needs a break.
She does a good job of it, that's for sure.
Oh. Okay, another shout out. Tomorrow is the transition presentation.
Oh.
And this has become an annual event.
Yes.
I believe one of our residents, Dick Coe, actually went to Cindy and said, you know, we need to talk about transitions more here. Folks don't know.
Right.
How do you go from one level of care to another? So I believe this is the third year of doing this.
Wow.
And of course, normally we do this in the multipurpose room and
Right.
it's live and all that good stuff. But this year, we're going to be broadcasting it on 1390, 3 o'clock tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. It really is important information that everyone should know how a CCRC works. How do we transition here? And we also have two guests on the show, Dick Coe and Robin Hedrick. So we have two other residents to be able to kind of help us through that presentation.
Yeah, it'll be
So
very good.
It should be really good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
learn something new each time you watch it.
You do.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a lot of information, so, you
It
know,
is.
it's,
It
even the
is.
people that have seen it the year before, they, like you said,
Right.
Kathy, they come back and say, you know
Right.
what, I missed that the first year.
Exactly.
So I
Yep.
picked that up this year, so.
Or maybe I'm a little closer to a transition now, and now I really, oh, that's how it
Paying a little
works.
more attention
Okay,
to it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get that too, and Cindy also has some great slides that she's going to put out in the boxes after the program, so
Right.
that will come
That's right.
after, but a lot of things that she talks about, you'll actually get it in your box and on Care Merge. So that's exciting stuff. And then next Tuesday's a big day. It's not election yet, so I'm not talking about that day. Next Tuesday. What do you think it is, Kathy?
I hope it's something really, really tasty.
I think it is.
It
It is National Fried Chicken Day.
Oh,
Oh.
I know. I made up the national part. It's not that. It's River Landing Chicken Day. So it's fried chicken next Tuesday. All of the venues have it.
okay.
Okay? And it's like a special plate. Like you pick dark meat, light meat, you get some sides, all that good stuff. I think for $8. It's like an amazing deal.
You know, some of
And
our
it's-
folk, every day is fried chicken day. I just have noticed that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not here.
Chicken tenders, you can get them every day.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Homer
a
Honey
Homer
Cakes does
special.
that. That is right. That's right. Thank you, Ken. I forgot about that.
Yeah, whenever I go into the boardroom, I can always tell when he's had his
He
fries and
starts smelling down
chicken.
the hallway. Smells like fries? Smells like chicken tenders? It's Homer.
It's Homer.
Okay, the fried chicken in all the venues from 11 to 2, so it's
11
just
to
during
2.
lunchtime.
Right.
So make sure you come out for
It's a
fried
fricassee.
chicken.
It's a fricassee. Isn't that how they say that? Fricassee?
I don't know. Isn't
Don't
that
they
rabbit?
call that a fricassee?
Isn't that rabbit?
No, it's a chicken fricassee. Isn't that
Yeah.
what they call that, fricassee? Help me, somebody. I'm really lost here.
I don't know. Somebody call in. Call
Yeah.
in and help us with
Yeah,
fricassee.
and maybe that's a northern term. I don't know. Is there a northern term of fricassee?
It's a chicken dish.
Is it?
There. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking
It's a
of.
chicken
Okay.
dish, but
I
I
thought
don't
it was
think having
rabbit.
fried
So what's
chicken on the
rabbit?
left.
I don't know, but do people eat cute little bunnies?
Yes, people eat rabbit.
Oh, I did not know.
What's it called, rabbit?
Stew. Rabbit stew.
Hassenpfeffer. Thank you. Somebody from the studio audience yelled out, Hassenpfeffer. And the reason I know this is my last name
Yeah?
used to be Haas. And my grandma, she'd call me a Hassenpfeffer.
Oh.
It was just a
Your
cute,
little
it was
rabbit.
just a cute, I was her little bunny.
Now, were you going to share
Yeah.
that on Monday at Furl? Now you can't share it because you've already shared it now. So you.
I
We'll
take it
forget by
back.
then. Don't worry about it.
I take it back. I can still bring that up again because
You could.
we don't know how many people are watching us right now. So
Probably not many. That's my guess.
there might be more on Monday.
All right.
I don't know.
Did y'all make bunny burgers?
No.
Okay.
We didn't eat them.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said we ate them.
No.
Oh, I
No.
see.
Now there's bunny ice cream, right? Blue
There
bunny?
is blue bunny.
Blue bunny ice cream.
Blue bunny ice cream.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't eat rabbits. I just like the name, Hassenpfeffer. But I thought it was fricassee, so I got confused for a second.
For a second?
You know,
little
I'm always a little afraid to throw out words anymore after, our episode from a few months ago, you know?
You're right. You have been known to say some words that,
I'm keeping a list of words.
I
we
know
got-
you
yeah.
are. Words you can't say anymore.
Yes.
You can't say it.
There's a list. There's a list. So,
All right, Lisa, I think we have some questions, right?
we do. Okay, so question 1. This is a biggie.
Yeah.
Okay. Would we ever go backwards in how we're doing things and opening things at River Landing? So right now we have visitation.
Yeah.
We have dining. We have a lot of good things going on. Would we ever go backwards?
Yeah.
It's hard to predict that, right?
Well, it is. I mean, the reality is, I hope that we don't ever have to, right? I mean,
Right.
we don't want to take things away that we've given back at this point.
Right.
But, there could be a scenario where maybe Guilford County gets up over 10%, and we are having some sort of outbreak in Guilford County. Well, we might have to change the way we're doing things a little bit. Does that mean we take everything back and start over again? No, probably not that.
Right.
But, would we have to limit some things? Would we have to stop visitations for a while? We might have to stop visitations
Sure,
for a while.
sure.
We might have. So a lot just depends on the circumstances, what's going on. I'd like to think that there won't be anything that would stop us. And, we've been very, very deliberate in our steps that we've been adding in at this point, bringing back. So I'm hoping that we don't ever have to step back from any of this stuff. So maybe we're a little slower in some ways to what the rest of the world is doing. But, that's our hope and goal. But there could be. And so residents just need to know that there might be a scenario someday which makes us have to pull back a little bit. And I hope it doesn't happen, but it's a good question to
Right.
ask.
Yeah, I thought that was a very good question.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's something that a lot of people have thought about.
Sure.
So,
We're worried
Thank
about, right? So.
yep, thank you for asking that. Another one, can I still get an absentee ballot? And the answer is yes. You can actually request those up until, I believe it's October 27th. So it's really pretty close to the voting date that you can request it. You just have to get in really quick once you get it.
Yeah.
But you can request it. And there's a page on CareMerge that talks about voting and
Okay,
different
good.
things. It shows you early voting sites, the dates for that, times, locations, all that good stuff. So there's a lot of that going on. Also, if you don't feel comfortable mailing your ballot in, because we've had some people have fears of that,
Right.
you can drop it off of the absentee ballot at the early voting sites. So you can do that now through the 31st of October.
Yeah.
I believe that's the last date for early voting. And then after that, if you do it on the day of elections, you can't take it to your voting site. You have to then take it to the Board of Elections office in your county. And that's all up on that the voting page on CareMerge. So that's the only difference, is on voting date, you have to go to Board of Elections to
But
drop it off.
that's only if you're dropping it off.
That's only if you're dropping
putting
it
it in the mail, obviously you
Yes.
just put it in the mail
Yep.
at that point, so.
We just had some people that worried about putting it in the mail.
Yeah, I get it.
We've heard some things.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you hear a bad story and it scares you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think in general, the mail system,
Yeah.
it works good. But if you're worried about that, those are a couple other options for you.
I think I have heard that there's already 10 million Americans that have voted already.
Wow, wow.
Which, when you think about it, I think if my math is right, we're about 200 million Americans in the U.S., so
Okay.
that's about 5%
Okay.
of the population has voted early already through absentee ballots, so.
I mean, I think this is the year to do absentee,
Well,
to
that's
not
why a lot
have
of
to
people
go
are doing
out
it.
to a polling place.
Yeah, it might also be, I don't want to say this, but it might be the time to actually go vote, because if a lot of people are doing absentee ballots, maybe the lines won't be so long. I know
Well,
where I
that's true.
vote.
That's true.
I have to wait an hour when I get through to get through the line. So, and it's going to even be
Right.
worse, because, before you'd stand right next to the person in front of you.
Right, right.
Now we know they're going to
Yeah,
be
I
6
mean,
feet
they've
apart.
set up
and-
protocols
And they're going to
where-
have to spray down the booth after
Right,
their people are
right,
done, or use
absolutely.
gloves, or whatever the protocol is going to be. We know
Yep,
they're going to have
yep.
heavy protocols.
We've been told there's going to be protocols,
Yeah.
so, and for us, our normal polling site is right down the road from us, Smith Grove Baptist Church,
Yeah.
so we know that's just down the road. Thankfully, it's not a huge
No,
site.
it's not.
That's kind of
Yeah.
helpful too. We're not in the middle of Greensboro,
That's
middle
right.
of a town that it's bigger. So I mean, that's helpful too, but absentee is definitely an easier option to be able to do that. So
No
we
question.
we still suggest do an absentee, but if you do go out to vote, follow the normal things that we've been telling you,
Yeah.
the 3 Ws.
Yeah, just be careful.
Just protect yourself. Okay, one last question.
Yes,
We are getting close to the holidays.
we are.
It's kind of weird to say, isn't it?
Quickly.
We're middle of October. I mean, Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Will there be any exceptions on the number of visitors on those days?
Yeah, we're starting to get these kind of questions coming from, and logical questions from residents.
Absolutely.
Because
Yep.
we've limited the visitors to 2. And, maybe it's worth talking about that for a second. So why is the number limited to 2 at this point? And I think the residents need to know, I think we've explained this on a show before, but just in case we haven't, the process of having to screen and temp all of our staff that are coming through the front gate, now you take into account 635 residents and their guests coming in, and 2 at a time. It takes a yeoman's effort for our staff to be able to screen and temp check them. So when you multiply that, even by adding 1 more or 2 more, it just takes the volume up to such a level that our staff really can't control it. So with why we're staying with 2, and that's why we want to keep our policy that way. But we recognize that with the holidays coming, people are going to want to be able to get extra visitors to come in. So we're working on something that will provide an exception to during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so
Right.
we'll have more about that later, but we want to tell you that we are working on that. So we will be able to provide some sort of exception during those times. The one good thing, I guess, during that time is that we have a little bit less staff members that are here because that's the holiday season, so a lot of our staff members are taking off during Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that'll make it a little easier for our folks up front to be able to handle a little bit more volume. So we'll come back with you what the rules and procedures will be, but we're working on something that'll provide an exception.
Yep. I think that will help folks just to know that
Yeah.
there could be some exception at
Yeah.
the holiday time there. Okay, Kathy,
Yeah,
are we ready?
we sure are.
Okay, so we're excited today to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And what are we going to be talking about?
Reverse raffle.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
There's just been so much enthusiasm for the reverse raffle in the past that I think that those that have moved in since we had the raffle will really enjoy it if they participate, because it's just a fun evening. It's a nice way to have a social. This year, we're going to be able to have live audience in numerous locations, which I think will be wonderful.
Now, we need to say limited live audience,
Yes.
right? So, but
Yep.
that's a live audience still
It's a
nonetheless.
live audience,
That's
and I'm
right.
sure it will be fun to have somebody sitting at a table close to you that's laughing as hard as you are.
There you go.
Because,
Absolutely.
We usually have an MC who guides us along our way with some,
Oh, is that what you call it? Guiding us
it's
along the way?
guiding, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes he's guiding us down in a hole. But, you know, it just makes for.
Is it a rabbit hole? A Hassenpfeffer hole?
Awesome pepper hole.
Everything ties together ultimately. Yeah.
But the tickets are going on sale quickly. They're going to go on sale tomorrow. And for our one special option, which is to purchase a table, you can purchase a table of 4 for $50. We will have 24 people here.
$200.
$50 each.
I mean, $50 each, yeah, $50 ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
special.
please. Yeah, they're $50 tickets each, so if you're a couple, obviously it's going to be 100, and the table will be 2.
Right.
There will be 24 people here in the NPR, and there'll be 24 people in the
T-side room?
Seaside, oh, thanks.
Seaside, yeah.
And then there'll be 24 people in the
Hilltop,
Hilltop Pub.
yes, yes.
So in the Hilltop, you will have the benefit of multiple televisions to watch the proceedings. And in
Or not
the-
watch it, if you choose. You can have
Well,
one
yeah, you
with
can
one
just-
and one with other things.
Sure. Yeah.
That could be a real advantage of that one, particular, to be honest with you.
And then in the T-side, we will have the giant screen so that you can feel like you're there even
Right,
if you're not.
right.
Gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
In the 2 clubhouse venues, we will have a buffet table with our meal, which will be chili. It'll either be red chili or white chili, and then there'll be dessert. And so you'll be able to get your meal from that location, as well as your beer and wine.
I mean,
Yes.
beer and wine's included in the
It's
ticket?
included in the ticket.
Oh,
And
so
if-
those are special tickets.
I was going to say, and if you buy a regular ticket for $30, you're most likely going to want something to drink with it. Now, in the
Right.
past, we had drinks tickets, which were 5 for $20.
Right,
30 plus 20, you're right there.
right.
You're right there.
So
Okay.
this is just another way that you get to enjoy company. I was thinking it's a pick too, because you get to pick who you're going to sit with. You get to pick if you're going to have red or white chili. You can pick your location, perhaps.
But you can't pick your MC. I mean, that's the only problem.
And you can't pick your nose.
I think everybody would pick the MC.
Yes, I know.
I
He's
think-
wonderful.
I think that is,
I think we
Bubba.
have a special MC this time
yeah.
around. Is that what I
I
understand?
Who
think
is it
he's
this time?
hugely popular.
My nephew is coming.
Your nephew's
Nephew.
coming.
Yes.
We've never had a nephew.
His name Bubba. I have to. Bubba's what we call him. I mean, his formal name is Bubba Bob.
Bubba, bubba,
But-
bubba, bubba, bubba.
BB.
The thing you need to know is he doesn't have quite as much on the ball as Billy Bob does.
Oh, boy. That's really troublesome.
Yeah. He didn't make it very far in school,
Yeah.
but what he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in enthusiasm.
Oh, it should be fun.
Okay, okay.
So, Kathy, if you happen to win one of these tables, right, because it's a process, right? Tell us
Well,
about the
because
process.
we only have 18 tables.
18 tables,
6 in
right.
each location.
Yeah,
There very well could be more than 18 groups that are interested in purchasing a table. So
Yeah.
what we will do in that case is we will have a raffle within the raffle. We will do it on the 27th of October.
Yes.
So you need to buy your tickets by the 26th.
right.
Yes, yes.
And where are we doing that raffle at, Kathy?
Could it be on As the River Churns?
I think it might be.
I bet it is.
We're going to do it live and
So
in
we're going to have
person.
a forward raffle and a reverse raffle.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Amazing.
That's right. And we'll just stand still and wonder.
Wow.
Are we going to have beer and wine for the drawing of the reverse raffle
Oh,
tables?
please.
Well,
Because I might need it during that episode.
So Kathy, if we end up having, let's say, 24 tables, and so we know 6 people 6 tables won't get in then.
Yeah.
Well,
Then what happens?
their ticket will automatically revert to the $30 ticket.
Okay,
And the $30 tickets are for those who will be able to enjoy the raffle from their home on their televisions that will be broadcast on to this particular stage.
so I don't have to do a table. If I want to watch it from home,
You can watch it from home.
that's option 2.
Not a problem at
Okay,
all.
okay,
And you need to gather whomever you would like to sit with and have their names, and then have one person purchase the table ticket. So that we have one person that we contact, and then they can
that
contact the
makes
rest.
sense, right.
And so there's a form that will be put out in the boxes tomorrow?
Tonight.
Tonight. Okay, and that form has all the information on it for you to put your name down. Now, it's not necessary that you be here at 12:01 tonight to purchase your table, because it will be a raffle. So you just need to make sure that you have your purchase made before the 26th of October, so we're ready for the drawing.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And we're hoping that we do
Okay.
have 24, 25 tables worth of people.
Right.
You know, I know that might mean that some people might not get a chance to have a
Sure,
table,
sure.
but it'll certainly make the drawing much more fun
Right.
if we know that we have a bunch of
Right.
people that want to have. And so that's going to be, that show's going to be a lot of fun.
So when I fill out my form, can I say, I want the multipurpose room?
You can say, I want the multipurpose room. And if you're really lucky, you just might get your name
get it.
drawn for the multipurpose
Okay.
room.
Yeah, because let's talk about that for a second. So we're going to do the drawing on the 27th. We're going to pull out the first table, and they're going to, on the form, they have a place where they can have a preference as to
preference,
which
right.
one they want. T-side room, the bar, or the multipurpose room right here. And so we'll fill up the 6 tables, and we'll have a thing here that'll show when the 6 tables are full. So we'll go by preference. And if you're the first table pulled, your first preference is what
Right.
you're going to get, and the second one will be we'll just see where they go. But
Right,
it's
right.
a fun little process.
If I'm the 7th one to pick the NPR, then I will most likely be able to get into my second choice.
That is correct.
Yes, that's
Probably.
true.
So we will just continue from there.
And you may have no preference.
No.
Right?
And
You
if
could
you
say,
have no
whatever
preference,
one's
you put it
open.
down, and it'll be the
Yep.
luck of the draw.
Okay, okay,
And the neat thing is it's a table of 4. So if you're a couple,
right.
then you can bring another couple with you. And if the 4, you know that the 4, you'll be sitting at a table, whether it's here or at the T-side room or whatever.
right.
You know, that'll be the great thing. And if you're a single here, then you can bring in 3 other people with you and get a table. And you can have your friends be here as part of the table. So,
Right, right.
And don't feel that you have to just buy one ticket.
right.
Being this is a fundraiser for the food packaging event, and we were not able to have the silent auction, and we were not able to have the barbecue luncheon, this will be a really good opportunity for you to give towards the packaging event, so that as soon as we can have one, and as soon as we can make arrangements, we can in fact do it.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah, thank you.
I'm happy to report that Bubba has been working on his numbers.
Oh, good.
I told him he's got to be able to get up to 300. So
That would be very good to know.
Is that going
Yes.
to be a challenge?
I think he can do it by November, yeah.
Okay, okay. He can practice.
Bubba's not blind, though, right?
No, he's
Okay,
not.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
He's not. At least I don't think so.
Wait a minute. This is your nephew, so you should know whether he's blind or not.
Well, he could have been fooling us, I don't know.
Anything else, Kathy?
Well, I think we ought to mention the date, because we really don't want to
Oh.
have people showing up here tomorrow.
Well, you're right.
It's
You're right.
November 13th. It'll be at 6 p.m., and we start drawing at 6:30.
Well, or sometime after 6
Yeah.
o'clock, so.
Now, those that buy the $30 tickets and enjoy the raffle from their home will be able to pick up a box lunch, which will have their chili and their dessert, and they will choose on their form if they would prefer the white chicken chili or the red beef chili. And they will have locations and time that afternoon that they can pick up their food. And that way they can just heat it up in their microwaves and eat it during the show if they'd like, or else they
Yeah.
might just want to be
Save
ready
it
with
for
their
later.
sheet and
Sure.
check off numbers.
Sure.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun event.
gonna be a
on
lot
the
of
13th.
fun.
You know, we are doing this on a Friday the 13th, so.
There you go.
Ooh, that's a little scary.
It is a little scary.
And
but-
Bubba coming, that's pretty scary too.
And there's even prizes throughout the night, right?
There is,
Oh.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's quite a bit of money that's
There
given away.
is.
You have either $25 prizes or $50 prizes, and there's 6 $25 and 5 $50 tickets. So there's more than just that one
right.
option.
So is it every 25 numbers, we draw
Every
another
25
prize,
numbers we
right?
draw.
We draw a winner.
Somebody's gonna be winning.
That's right.
Then when we get down to the end, that's when we will contact those that if you are someone who is at home and you are one of the last 10 numbers, then you will be called by a staff member.
Five numbers.
Five
Yep,
numbers.
yep.
You'll be called by a staff member, just to make sure that you know that you're one of those bottom 5 or top 5, wherever you want to put them.
Yep, yep.
And your preference as to whether or not you want to group together and split the money, or if you want to keep going. Now, if you're not home, if you've already gone to bed, then that decision will be made by those remaining people that are of that 5.
That's right.
Because if they all don't agree,
Then
we keep pulling
you
numbers.
keep going.
And we're kind of hoping that at least 1 or 2 of the people that are at the remaining 5 are actually going to be live at the event, maybe
That'd
at
be
one of the
great.
tables,
Wonderful.
right?
Sure, sure.
So that would be fun
That'd be
too, if
pretty
we can
cool.
have that. So, but we'll contact you. If you're not here, we'll contact you. If you're here, obviously, you can represent yourself that way. So,
What if my number gets pulled really early? Like last year, I think it was out with the 5th call.
You know Jill.
Yes,
Jill is our second chance person. You can buy tickets from Jill,
okay.
and you will just phone her. We'll have the numbers available to you, and you will telephone her, and you'll say, Jill, I need a second chance. And you'll have an opportunity to buy 1 ticket, or you'll have an opportunity to buy 5 tickets.
Okay.
So that will give you a chance
A chance to get back in.
to stay in it. And last year, I believe that one of our second chance people
Was a winner.
one of the,
That's
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
So those second chance, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
And-
I think, Kathy, on the handout that we're going to have
Yes.
for everybody, it's very self-explanatory,
It
I
is
think,
a lot
in a
of
lot of
information
ways.
on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's been a lot of time spent
There
on trying to
has.
make sure this is exactly
And
the
thank
way.
you to Michelle and
be
Brian
easy enough for
for
people to be able to
helping.
read. But if you do have questions,
I'd call Brian.
Brian
He's
Stroud
got
will be
a
the
really
one to call.
easy number.
Although if you have questions
No,
tomorrow,
no,
you can call
we'll call
Michelle.
Brian.
But,
Yeah, but we don't have Brian's
After
number. We've got
tomorrow.
Michelle's numbers.
well, yeah, right.
Well, we actually do have Brian's number on here.
411.
Michelle wouldn't mind while she's on vacation answering phone calls.
I don't think she forwards her phone. So I think you're out of luck if you call her on vacation.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think we are
But we
too.
do have Brian's email
But you know what we
and
could do,
number.
which would be kind of fun, is we could transfer her phone while she's gone
Sure.
to her cell
Oh.
phone, and she wouldn't have a chance to be able to reverse it. So
Oh.
that way,
That's mean.
that would be kind of mean, wouldn't it?
I was going to say, she might have an opportunity to throw it in the,
I was going to say, that doesn't sound.
I'd probably pay for that pretty big when she got
Ooh,
back.
I
That's
think
probably
you
not a
would.
good idea. So
Ooh.
if she comes back, Brian, stop.
Oh.
We had a correction about the population of the United States.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's 328
Thank you for the correction for the population.
something, but it was 328.
So we're up,
That's-
the population of the
That's
U.S. is
adults, that's adults who are of the age to vote, I bet.
Oh, the 200, that's what I think it was.
Yep.
So the population of the U.S. is over
Yep.
320 million, but I think you might be right.
Yep.
Adults probably are about that, closer to that 200 million. So I still think we're right. It's probably of voting age is what I had heard. But
Okay.
I do need to preface that. That was told to me secondhand. I didn't read that, so, but it was from a knowledgeable source, so I believed what they said. But, so you all can check that out yourself and see. But still, we know there's going to be a lot of absentee ballots.
Right, right.
A lot
Sure.
of people have already voted already, but Kathy, this is exciting.
I think it'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting.
So we'll see how that all turns out, but yeah, October 26th. You got to October 26th to get your
Right.
table
Turn your
together,
forms in.
or just send in your form if you want tickets.
So you bring them to the front desk if you're going to fill out a paper form.
Yep.
Bring it, turn it into the front desk. If you want, you can go on CareMerge starting tomorrow, I believe. So if you go on CareMerge, there's a form that you can fill out, and that will be emailed to several of us to be able to acknowledge that. So either way, whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, if they fill a form out on CareMerge, they don't have to fill out a paper form.
Right.
So,
It,
yes,
only fill out one
How about
form.
payment?
So if you do one on paper that you go to the front desk with, you don't have to then do it on Care Merge, and vice versa. If you do it on Care Merge, you don't have to come to the front desk with a form. So Care Merge is just like a paper form.
And how do we pay for our tickets?
Tickets are going to be charged to your resident account. It's a cashless transaction.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. And that's the way we want it to be.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Friday the 13th is supposed to be an unlucky day, but somebody is going to break that mold.
And it
And it's going to be
Absolutely.
lucky.
It could be as many as 5 people that
Could be.
want to break that
Absolutely.
mold. So,
Could be.
For sure.
yeah, I
Somebody's
think
going
it's
to be
very
lucky.
exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great. I think we're going to have a question about the person that wants to have a table and buy extra tickets. So I guess they can do that on the same form?
They could. So let's say you put your name in for the table,
Yep.
but then you personally want to buy 3 or 4 of the other tickets.
Yes.
You could do that.
Yes.
You could do that.
Yes.
You're right. But if you're coming in here, it's 1 ticket per person at the table.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Lisa,
I can see how
I'm
that could
sorry,
be
I'm throwing
confusing.
you a little bit of a curveball, just, but
Yeah.
we need to talk through this one.
Yep.
Let's just say I'm not the designee that's filling it out for the table.
Mm-hmm.
So would I fill out a separate form then, if I wanted extra tickets
You would.
myself?
You would.
And do option 2 then?
You would
Is that-
have to fill out your own form if you wanted extra tickets.
Extra tickets, right?
Yes.
So-
Not for the tables.
Not for the
just
table.
to have an
So
extra
for the
$30
table,
ticket.
we just want one person for your table to fill out the
Correct.
form.
Yep.
But if I'm part of a table that wants to do this, but I'm not the designee and I want
Right.
extra tickets, I fill out a form on the option
Absolutely.
2, correct?
Yep, because you want extras.
That's right. Okay.
Yep.
I just want to try and make
Yeah,
that as
no,
clear as
that's good.
mud, you know?
And next week, we'll probably get some questions out of this, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And we'll address on the show, we're on actually twice next week.
We are on
So
twice
we
next
can address some of that too, because it's a lot of information in 4 pages. You're getting 4 pages.
Right.
So it's a lot of stuff, and
There
we
is.
get that, it could be confusing. So,
But they're big words.
they are big
helps.
words.
You know, I'm just about going to have to turn this hourglass
I
over
hope-
again.
Uh-oh.
Are they going to cut the camera off?
Okay,
Brian says okay.
okay, so we better get going. Is
Yeah,
that
let's,
what you're saying, Ken?
let's finish up. Let's finish
Okay.
up. But Kathy, thank you for that. That was a lot of
Yes.
explanation, so thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be great.
Okay, birthdays for the day. Let's see. Tuesday, we had Billy Sue Jones.
Ah, really so.
Wednesday, Wayne Taylor. Today, Carl Giffen. Friday, Kathleen McKinney.
Ah,
Saturday, Lou Insinius.
wow.
Sunday, Ann Jones.
Wow.
Yes.
That's like 1 per day, every
I
day.
know,
It's like-
I know. And then for staff birthdays, Monday, we had Megan Gorman in dining. Tuesday, Allison Deschambeau and LaShonda Lothrop in nursing. Today, Christy Ballard,
Christy's
EVS,
birthday.
and Lisa Panisi, nursing. And on Sunday, we have Javon Gee in dining. So,
A lot of birthdays.
lots of great birthdays. That gets
Yeah.
us through the weekend.
Happy birthday to all of you. That's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. Okay, the trivia question
Yes.
from John Hoyt was, in the comic strip Peanuts, where was Snoopy born? The answer is Daisy Hill Puppy Farm. Woo!
Daisy Hill Puppy.
Did we have a winner?
We did. And guess what? It's someone that's having a birthday on Saturday.
What?
Okay? It is Lou Insinius.
Wow.
He is the winner. So it's kind of like an early birthday present.
Yes.
Oh, and we didn't mention this, but that is going to be one of the wines that we're going to have.
That's why we're
at
showcasing
the
it
Reverse
today.
Raffle.
Yes.
Nice.
Cheesecake Factory Merlot.
Merlot.
Is one of the
Hey.
wines.
The Behringer
Yes,
Vineyard.
Behringer. That's right.
Yes.
Is the other one, yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. So that's just a little highlight there.
All right, Lisa, we've kind of already talked about next week, but why don't you
Yes,
quickly go
yes.
through it again?
Okay, so tomorrow, don't forget the transitions meeting.
Right.
Next week, Monday, is the furl session with Tom and Lisa. Tuesday, River Churns. Wednesday, fashion show with Mary Beth Lynch and co-host Cindy Hawks, highlighting some beautiful outfits. Thursday, River Churns again. And Friday, Greensboro Symphony.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting next week
Yeah, it's going
as
to be
well.
great next week.
So,
Great
okay,
next week.
Down to the joke.
Yeah, and I think we're going to just skip over to Chuck. We've
Okay.
had a long session. We're over an hour.
There was
so
claps. Why did that happen?
I don't know. You know, I had a really good one for today, but that's okay.
It was a good one.
She's a whiz. So, no, I think we've gone long enough. We'll save that one for next week.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
thank you,
Sounds
all
good.
three of you, for being on the show
Yes.
today. Kathy, special thank you to you.
You're welcome.
Ken, thank you for getting your nephew Bubba to come out and help us be a part of the November 13th Reverse Raffle. That should be a lot of fun.
I know he's looking forward to it. He's a little afraid to be here on Friday the 13th, but I think he'll be okay.
Okay, good. Well, since he can't count very well, just tell him it's the 12th.
I will. Good point.
And for all of you, hope you have a great afternoon and a great weekend. And don't forget about the show tomorrow. God bless. We love you.